Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tato's Hardcore Media. Bring you another video about Daniel Penny. Realize I'm a bit late on this, but I've been busy with stuff and everything. And I want to also put in my own experiences with mass transit, subway stuff. But I had a crazy time on Monday. Uh, when this when he was found not guilty, I believe it was Monday or Tuesday, um, 2 days ago. Um, people threatening to kill people and stuff like that. A girl threatening to stab a guy. Uh, one guy just went off and he's talking about killing people on the bus and stuff like that. You know, I was just like looking, and this guy was just like shaking his head. And there's a lot of crazy bitches um, when you take the bus and stuff and on the subway, and you never know if somebody's gonna get shot, stabbed, or if there's gonna be a fight. And there's a lot of crazy mental people, and unless these are recorded, and the way that laws are, they don't work for the people. They don't. There is no such thing as self-defense usually, unless you got money and unless you got cameras and people working on your side. And most just want to get from place to place. Um, you're going to be the one that goes to jail if it's self-defense. Excuse me, my nose. Um, so, anyways, um, let's get on with this here.
Has been found not guilty on the charge of criminally negligent homicide.
Daniel Penny was just found not guilty on all charges, and BLM is not happy about it.
They will not find.
I mean, one of them, I just gotta say sorry. One guy on the bus, he was going like this to a couple girls on the freaking bus. Go like this and everything. One of the girls, we got to stop. She said, "Let me out before I stab somebody." And, you know, when they got out, I told the bus driver about the guy. I don't know if anything happened, but there are bad people, crazy mofos. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it.
A white man guilty of killing a black man in modern day America. This is
There are black people on the jury, but you're racist, bitch.
no different than Jim Crow.
They're making this into a racial case when it really was about a repeat offender being let out on the street to commit more crimes.
Daniel Penny is guilty. But today, white supremacy got another victory. They picked a white supremacist jury specialist to target the racists in that jury.
We're on the subway where we're hearing someone talking about hurting people, killing people. You have someone on that subway who was responding, doing what we should have done as a city.
This is somebody who should have never been on the street.
He said it. He did what they should have done. That guy belonged in prison long time ago. Dozens. He has a huge rap sheet. So many felonies and stuff. He should have never been on that train.
It's free to do what he did. Abducted a 7-year-old.
The jury got it right in this case, and BLM, they can kick rocks.
Shout out,
Penny
shout out to Melody King. Give her a like for putting this together and everything. I have her on because I like to get. I was watching Nate the Lawyer too. He's a lawyer. He went over this stuff, and so many black people like to get, their side and everything on this, because it's how we learn from different people's perspective. And, so
Just was found not
give her stuff.
guilty
Here, like,
of negligent homicide. Now, this is for the Jordan Neely case, and it's so crazy. I did a video about this yesterday that we're going to follow up on in this video. But first, take a look at just what happened at the courtroom today.
Breaking news. The jury has reached a unanimous verdict in the case of Daniel Penny. He's been found not guilty on the charge of criminally negligent homicide. Now, remember what was at stake here. The jury could not agree on manslaughter. They failed to agree twice. The judge gave them another bite at the apple on this lesser charge, negligent. They now say not guilty. What does this mean? Let's first go to reporter C.B. Cotton, who's outside the courthouse, to find out how this has played out. Now, I hear an immediate melee of protesters, C.B.
yes.
Hi, Harris. That's right. Protesters are pretty upset. There's a large crowd of them out here next to me. You can hear them rattling the police barricades, saying no justice, no peace. And what they're yelling now follows a series of threats that they hurled earlier as the defense walked in with their client, Daniel Penny, telling the defense team that Daniel Penny can have no peace here in New York if he's found not guilty on this lesser charge, criminally negligent homicide. And from what I can hear,
it's like the KKK is after him, except for it's a different color instead.
Right now, they're repeating those threats. They are very angry. Harris, I also want to mention there were a couple people here this morning to support Daniel Penny, but the anti-Penny crowd far outweighs them, and they seem pretty upset. We're seeing police officers come out here in droves to try to keep the two groups separated for now. But I'm looking at our notes from the courtroom, and it seems like this is the first time we've seen some real emotion from Daniel Penny. His attorneys told me this morning that this trial has understandably taken a toll on him. He's been spending time with family and friends to try to stay calm. And our courtroom reporter telling me for the first time she sees him visibly smile, now hearing that jurors have decided he is not guilty of criminally negligent homicide.
Now, I talked about in my video yesterday how liberals are trying to frame Jordan Neely as this kid who used to just dress up as Michael Jackson and try to entertain people on the subway. Yeah, that may have happened decades ago, but the man that was Jordan Neely.
Let me tell you something. Being on these subways, and there's so many wackos that go on to these trains and they do dancing. And all we want to do is get to our freaking destination. And these bleep holes come in, they ruin our peace and our quiet, so many of them. There are some good ones. Alright? Few. So many of them get in our faces and you just want to beat the hell out of them. And tell them to get the fuck out of our faces. But doing that could get you killed, of course. Because they don't have security on most of these, trades and stuff. They do it for money. And, of course, they get upset if they're not getting money for doing the dance. And like I said, there's a few of them that are actually pretty good. But we're not asking you to dance. We're not asking you to put on a show. We just want to get from place to place without some crazies doing a freaking circus dance or something. You know what I'm saying? We don't want people bothering us. We want like Japan or China where it's quiet. We don't want some people, going, doing crazy stuff, we just want peace and quiet. And that's it. So
Neely today was a drug addict and a criminal, and not just he's just assaulting people on the train, he's just talking mess, but he was also convicted of attempted kidnapping of a 7-year-old girl on the subway. He tried to drag her onto a train and kidnap her. This man has been arrested 44 times, and he still was walking the streets of New York. He would go into that subway and harass people nonstop. He was physically violent with people. He threatened to kill people.
New York.
He has done a lot of things, but the main thing that why I have zero sympathy in this case is the fact that he tried to abduct this little child. So to me, in my mind, that means he likes children. He's a pedophile. And I have zero sympathy. And what did I say yesterday when it came to him? I said he could rest in piss. Now, some people don't like when I say that, but I'm going to tell you now, anyone that is guilty of doing something to a child, harming a child, trying to kidnap a child, in my book, automatically, you can go to hell.
I mean, what the fuck is up with stupid New York or any other place? You have all these arrests, and they're not doing enough to protect the citizens. Okay, but this is all these, major cities, and subways and buses, and it's like there's not enough, I mean, people don't want cops in everybody's faces, but you want security. So there's a fine line between having security and having cops in people's faces, because people don't like that either. But, where do you have the balance? And me, as much as I hate law enforcement, how I hate it in a lot of ways, you have to have it. You need it. I say you gotta have that security. And me being on that bus just one day, going, like 8-10 miles, back and forth, place to place. And, you got two people saying, they're going to kill people, stuff like that. It's like, you just want to shoot the guy, whatever, and it pisses people off. It's like, how's this person still alive? It's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? How's this, piece of shit, able to be on these buses and around public and stuff like that? I got my own problems, but Jesus Christ. And some sexual predator on the bus, making sexual faces and with his arms going like this, to girls there and stuff like that. It's like, what the fuck?
Listen to what Vivek Ramaswamy had to say when this case initially unfolded.
Look, let's take the lesson of this day. Jordan Neely, this is somebody who should have never been on the streets free to do what he did. Abducted a 7-year-old, reportedly assaulted a 67-year-old. If the New York police departments had been doing their jobs, had been allowed to do their jobs, then this incident would have never happened. And I want to make sure that this individual, who actually appears to have been taking action for a guy who was supposedly actually issuing threats to others on the train, I want to make sure he receives a fair defense. I think it's important that we regain confidence in the rule of law in this country. And I think it says that many Americans are hungry for the same thing, which I take as an encouragement.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't work for people in self-defense. It works against us. So if we see somebody that's being a terrorist on a bus or on a train, and we want to defend others and want to defend our lives, we could be prosecuted by dumbass piece of shit law enforcement officers. Where this pisses me off, because it works more for the criminal in this instance than it does for, the common person that's trying to defend themselves. And this is bullshit. And this is where it's like we have to take it up the ass in so many ways and let them do whatever they want to us. We have to take it. We have to tolerate it. And a lot of people, we have to get, groceries. We have to get medicine or go to a job or whatever. And the laws are supposed to protect the people, not the criminal. And this is the bullshit of our country, the way it's gotten, where in the old days, we used, if we had to kill somebody in self-defense or beat somebody up in self-defense, it was okay for the most part. Now it works for the criminal, where you have to prove your innocence, and you can't always do that. I know people that are in jail, prison today, they're in for self-defense, and they shouldn't be, because it works for the criminal, not for the common person.
Encouraging sign for where the hearts and minds of citizens across this country really are.
So let me just read what he actually posted with this clip on X. In 2015, Jordan Neely kidnapped a 7-year-old girl. In 2019, Jordan Neely punched a 64-year-old man in the face. In 2021, Jordan Neely slugged a 67-year-old woman in the face as she exited the subway, breaking her nose and fracturing her orbital bone. Neely was arrested 44 times.
So yeah, what was coming.
But never faced real justice for terrorizing New Yorkers. The Manhattan
And stupid BLM is trying to incite a race war, and which is a racist. BLM is really a racist group of thugs. Really, it's always like the KKK. But it's by black people. The thing is, all lives matter. All lives matter. Not one race. When a group of people say only this segment or this population or group of people lives matter, that is racist. All people's lives matter, not one fucking group over another. Everybody's lives matter. Everyone's. Either it's everybody or nobody. That's the way it's supposed to be. Capiche? Get it?
DA shares responsibility for his death for creating the anti-law enforcement culture. Habitual felons like Neely should not roam free to terrorize or prey on innocent members of our community. Leave a comment below if you think that the jury got it right in letting Daniel Penny go free and finding him not guilty. And also, have you guys been to my merch shop, realmelanieking.com? I want to show you guys a couple of new items that we've added that you're definitely going to love. We have the new Don Father 2 mug. We've had that on other items, but now it is a mug. You guys love the mugs. We have the sexy and conservative mug. We've got all the president's mugs. Like, this is really cool. You can see the different names of presidents. The facts don't care about your feelings one. And sorry, I don't speak liberal mug. But we also have these different designs as t-shirts as well. We have them for men and for women. You are not going to want to miss any of these things. If you want to check out these items for yourself, go to realmelanieking.com.
I gotta have that because she's doing this video. But I'm not on either side, but
the link will also be in the description box. Let's get back to the video. Jordan Neely dying was an accident, but that does not mean that Daniel Penny should have went to trial, that he should have been charged with anything. He's an actual hero. They say that men aren't stepping up and helping women or trying to,
You can't step up because you'll be charged with the murder or the crime, not the criminal. It works for the criminal, not for the defendant, not for the person, that's doing defense, that's helping the people, not for a common person.
No, they're not chivalrous anymore. And this is one of the reasons. This is a man who tried to do the right thing. Jordan Neely died in police custody. He actually did not kill him. One of the medical examiners said that it was related to his drug use and previous pre-existing medical conditions. But yet the news and the media have tried to spin it as though, he's some vigilante that was out to harm people. And it makes no sense. It's the policies in New York where they don't take crime seriously. They just, we bring them in and then they're just released right away to go back into society and to commit more crimes. Even Eric Adams feels the same way.
You can look at that on a multi-faceted approach of everything that's wrong with the system that we're facing. One, look at the photo that they used to show the victims. It seemed like it was a young, innocent child who was brutally murdered, and it gave that impression. When you looked at the photo that was being used, it wanted to set up in the minds of people that we were dealing with a young, innocent child that, just a Michael Jackson intimidator that, was just brutally assaulted. Then you look at the complete failure of our mental health system, a complete failure from the days of closing psychiatric wards and having those who needed help just turned over into the street without giving any safety net to accept them. Parents reach out to me all the time and say, I'm watching my child go down, or my loved one, my family member going down this serious decline. What do we do? A system where you brought people into hospitals, gave them medicine for one day, and sent them back. The young man in this case was going within our system, throughout the revolving door of our system. Now, we're on the subway where we're hearing someone talking about hurting people, killing people. You have someone on that subway who was responding, doing what we should have done as a city and a state of having a better mental health facility. Those passengers were afraid. I'm hoping that the jury will hear all the facts. Based on all the facts that's laid out, a jury of his peers would make the right decision. And I don't want to prejudge that. I'm just looking at all the facts that are involved here and what we did to get to where we are and what we're seeing. Because that could have easily been a case where you saw 3 innocent people murdered on our street 2 weeks ago.
This is significant, not just for Daniel Penny, not just for subway riders who may have been on that jury who found a way through all of the legal wranglings, it would seem, by what we know as a soft on crime DA who does not hand out the adjudication evenly, we've seen from Alvin Bragg. So this is really important. I want to bring in now Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor, constitutional law attorney, and George Washington University law professor. Jonathan, before we get into what comes next in all of this, just your initial reaction. This was fairly quick.
It was quick, and it was not entirely expected because this is not obviously how District Attorney Bragg had planned this. The way the case was going was along the sort of design that Bragg had to force a compromise verdict. When the jury deadlocked over the more serious crime, the judge went ahead and allowed them to consider this lesser offense. That is basically what Bragg had hoped, that if he could not get a conviction on the more serious crime, which was unlikely, that they would come back and compromise and convict him on the lesser offense, which, by the way, still came with a potential penalty of 4 years. So I think that the most surprised person in that room may be Alvin Bragg. Because you have a jury that apparently couldn't agree on the more serious offense, but then they came back and they said, but we do agree that he's not guilty of the lesser offense. So it's not exactly how this was supposed to play out in his view. And you keep in mind that this is a jury that received an Allen charge. And so that's where the court says, go back and try again. It's a favorite charge of prosecutors because jurors often do then produce a compromise verdict, a conviction for the prosecutor.
The reality is this had nothing to do with race. The reality is that he was a degenerate criminal who tried to kidnap a child. When you cross that line, for me, I don't give a damn about you anymore. When you are trying to kidnap a 7-year-old little girl and drag her onto the subway train, and then you have these idiots out here propping him up as though he's a hero, and Daniel Penny just hurt this 42-year-old man. who was so nasty and
That's like a
dirty
blood
when
red line,
the
man.
police first arrived. They didn't even want to assist him. That's how disgusting he was. But they keep showing this picture of him looking like a kid dressed, just trying to impersonate Michael Jackson. And also, what needs to be said is that when the police arrived, Jordan Neely was still alive. Daniel Penny didn't kill him. He died in police custody.
Man hopped on the train, said he was ready to die. Okay. He didn't care. Yeah.
Just been belligerent and then
Very, very.
The whole train was freaked out. He was either gonna pull a gun, a knife, or
He said, I'm willing to die. I'm willing to die. You know, I didn't want to get killed.
These other people.
I name on the phone. Witness.
The guy in the tan did take him down very respectfully and just held him down. He wasn't
He has to do it respectfully. Can you imagine, man, if I can imagine with the people on the bus that get attacked, they're very belligerent and they cuss and they say they want to kill you. You know how many people say F you or say all these cuss words? I'm taking your bleep ass down and just hold it there. You're gonna be like, fuck you. You're staying here, fool. You're staying out here. The thing is, a person has to defend himself. If I'm defending myself or whatever, say, fuck that bitch. I'm holding you here or whatever. This is crazy because I know this guy, Daniel Penny, got lucky. He got lucky. Unless there are people that are willing to back you. A lot of people on these buses and on these trains, they run the hell out. They're not going to stay for the police. They're not going to care to back you up, even if you're in the right. All right? And Daniel Penny, he really did get lucky because a lot of people just want to get the fuck off those things, and they're not going to a lot of times care to back up a person if they're in the right. They just want to get that trauma, that negativity out of their system and just get the hell out.
I think that the guy is totally drove down.
This young lady right here.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you see?
What did I see? I was sitting over there. I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, hey, I'm willing to die. I'll do anything. I'm willing to die. I'll go to jail. I don't care. I don't care. And he was saying it so loud that everybody turned around. So this young man
He's going to be held here for a long period of time. Guys just walked out. We got a There's two young ladies right here.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you see?
What did I see? I was sitting over there. I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, hey, I'm willing to die. I'll do anything. I'm willing to die. I'll go to jail. I don't care. I don't care. And he was saying it so loud that everyone turned around. So this young man, he got belligerent and he tackled him down. The one that just passed away in the brown jacket, the one that just went past.
The guy in the brown jacket?
Yeah, you got to see the guy in the brown jacket. Yeah.
You got it. This one, the guys in the precinct. You got a brown jacket, tan jacket. Take him to the precinct right now. Let's take him to the fifth precinct.
So he took him to the ground. The guy with the brown jacket took him to the ground.
Yeah, he took him to the ground and gave him a chokehold. Not a hard chokehold, just enough to secure him. And the guy fought. And he kept holding him. All right. And then that's when everybody totally realized what was going on. And I think this guy's on drugs, because when he came in, he was unbelievably off the charts. He scared the living daylights out of everyone.
How did he bring him down to the ground? Like he picked him up and threw him on the ground?
I thought he stood up, grabbed him, turned him around, and put him to the ground.
All right.
Daniel Penny did not kill Jordan Neely. And you don't have to take my word for it. The medical examiner said this very thing to the jury.
The defense team's experts saying that Jordan Neely did not die from a chokehold. By the way, that testimony and that expert opinion is dramatically different from the opinion of the New York City Medical Examiner's Office. Now go ahead and take a look at this video here. This is the doctor. His name is Dr. Satish Chundru, and he is based out of Texas. He said there are two phases in a chokehold death. The first phase is unconsciousness. The second...
Yet the DA still said that he was responsible. What trash.
...phase is death, and he testified that that is not what happened to Jordan Neely. He was also asked about the New York City Medical Examiner's Office's quality assurance in examining Neely. And his response was, if it did have quality assurance, it did not have it in this case. He said the medical examiner's office reached its conclusion without having all of the important evidence. Now, Daniel Penny's defense team has maintained...
I saw that where the other guys had to also keep him down as well. That says a lot. That says a lot. A lot of times, no matter how deadly a person gets, they will let you, they won't interfere because they're too scared to be charged with something, even if it's self-defense. People won't help. This is a sad state of our country as it is.
That Neely died as a result of being in a psychotic state, combined with having the drug K2 in his system, as well as having sickle cell anemia, which is a genetic blood disorder. Combining all of that with the struggle and the restraint, they say that's what killed him. Their expert agrees.
Now, as you saw in that one clip I played, BLM is at it with their grift and trying to turn this Jordan Neely, Daniel Penny case into their next, I guess, George Floyd and start riots. They even called for riots in a press conference yesterday when they were upset that one of the charges were dropped on Friday. So now they're really out there protesting and trying to create all this news and trying to create this movement around it, but it's really like no one's even paying attention to this. But they again, the grift has to continue. They have got to find the next, racial injustice, even though this has nothing to do with race. They've got to find that, and they're going to keep crying about white supremacy. Take a look at my reaction that I did yesterday of them just saying the most deranged things I have heard in quite some time.
There was no way you could put 9 white people in a room that would find Daniel Penny guilty.
Oh, God.
They picked a white supremacist jury specialist to target the racists in that jury.
Wow.
The prosecution pointed out the fact that defense was eliminating people based on race. Let me take it back because I don't want to scare y'all.
Really?
Logically thinking, if you pick a white supremacist jury specialist and you pack the jury with white people, obviously you think race has a significant role in this case.
Oh my God.
And obviously you were looking for that one white supremacist holdout.
Wow.
That one.
Wow. This is now about white supremacy. No, Daniel Penny was this raging Nazi white supremacist who just was looking for a black target to take out because white people good, black people bad. Like, what? This is what we're dealing with in the black community. This level of derangement. Like, what are we talking about here? The man was a dangerous pedophile criminal. Okay, he didn't get any pedophile charges. But in my opinion, why are you trying to kidnap a 7-year-old girl? What? To take her to Chuck E. Cheese? What other reason would you be trying to snatch a little girl in a subway? And then the New York City Police Department, the DAs, let you go back out free to harass and try to kidnap another child on the subway and hurt elderly people. but it's white supremacy. Tell us more.
The thing is, I think they're black KKK. Not only that, but BLM has so many times, so much, tens of millions of dollars, swindled black people, taking their money and pretended to be for black people in the betterment of black communities. Well, they've just swindled black people and taken all their money for themselves without a care for their own people. The organization should be put in a RICO case, really, as a criminal group, really, for what they've done, the fraud that they've committed. But
one holdout. Might have been more, but there was definitely one person in there that said, I'm not going to convict this white kid for killing that poor little mentally ill Negro piece of trash.
Oh.
Forgive my language, but I'm proving a point. This is how they think. The defendant himself called Jordan a dirty crackhead.
I'm actually getting physically sick from this.
He was a
And the
dirty
police
crackhead.
Let him go.
Let's be clear. He was a dirty criminal crackhead. Sorry, he didn't add enough to that. So I just wanted to clarify.
Go. The police found inconsistencies in his story and allowed Daniel Penny to walk free. When does that happen for black people? Am I not making my point clear enough? Racism has its tentacles all over this case. Racism has its evil tentacles all over its case and all around the minds of white America. Are all white people bad? No. The prosecution did a phenomenal job.
The only white people aren't bad or do what we want them to do, who bow down to our racist rhetoric and just, make sure that they have enough white guilt, then we like those. Those are the good ones. I mean, imagine being this much of a crybaby grifter. I mean, it's just recycled Reverend Sharpton. Sorry, Al Sharpton. The man calls himself a reverend. And he even down to the
Reverend Sharpton is not a reverend. He got a 24-hour type of paper thing that says, do this little course thing, and you can call yourself doctor or reverend. You're not really are one. It's like a little class thing, and you pay money for it, and then you can act like you're a real reverend or doctor. You're not. It's crazy BS that people do to make themselves look bigger than they actually are because they're really small. But anyways.
The little flaming jumpsuit or whatever it is that he got on. You remember Al Sharpton coming out there in those jumpsuits crying racism? I mean, the grift never stops. I guess they're just picking up the mantle now.
The judge is trying his hardest to bring justice to Jordan Neely's name. But racism is still alive and kicking in America.
Right, through you. You are the racist.
There's no other way to view this. Everyone has looked at the case, and those among you who say that Daniel Penny is innocent,
he is,
have racism and bias in your heart.
Oh,
if you look at the facts of this
internalized
case,
racism,
then you understand.
Wow.
That Daniel Penny is guilty. But today, white supremacy got another victory.
What?
Today, the KKK, the Klansmen, the evil in America
that's you.
Got another victory. They got that top charge dismissed. America shall continue to America and shall continue to place second-class status on black people. And black people, don't get your hopes up. I'm going to spare you the shock. Even if convicted of the top charge, he wasn't getting more than 4 years. We don't get justice in these buildings.
What?
They might throw us a crumb here and there, but we don't get justice in these.
I don't understand why people actually believe the bullshit that people like him and these groups put out, because it's not true whatsoever. When I got in trouble with the law, I was facing 7 years for assault and battery with a deadly weapon that was an accident, okay? I also had, what was it? Let's see. Bad hit on the head and stuff like that. I can't remember the right word. But I lost memory and stuff like that. Consciousness and everything. I forgot the right word. Fuck, for the life of me. But I got those charges lifted. And even the police said what I got was too high a charge, was very extreme. So it has nothing to do with race. Those are just lies. And for people to believe in the BS of these groups, they're just adding to the racism and the divisiveness and the division of the country. And people just need to stop. I mean, there are people that are racist, but that's in every color. It's not just one side, you know. And it's, oh my God.
Buildings, and I dare you to show me a study or some case law to prove that, to disprove that.
You already showed that. You already showed that.
Shavonna Newsom, CHIVONA, NEWSOME. I'm the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York.
And a criminal.
I stand here heartbroken because I have to hug a father who knows that the murderer of his son will most likely go free, who has to look in the face of a jury that no matter the facts, no matter the expert witnesses, no matter the people yelling on that train that day to let Jordan go, you will kill him. They will not find a white man guilty of killing a black man in modern day America. This is no different than Jim Crow. This looks like a picture out of the picture book when you look at that anonymous jury. We have baby boomers who were there doing Jim Crow on this jury. We have young people who are looking at Daniel Penny as a hero. And what America is a hero, a killer. He didn't give a crap about Jordan. The medical examiner said Jordan turned purple. Yes, black people can turn purple when they're denied.
Okay. Give me the strength, God. Give me the strength.
I'll let you take it. I'll let you take it.
Did this racist heifer come out her mouth and say, I mean, they are going full in on the grift. I mean, this is laughable. I don't know any black people that are up in arms about this white supremacy case who, you know, Jordan Neely's one of us. Listen, we're not a monolith. He was a crackhead criminal that was no use in society. And I don't care how you feel about it. Like I said, when you try to touch kids, when you were trying to kidnap a child, it's over. There's nothing you can say.
Shoot the guy,
as I've said before, Jordan Neely can rest in piss, ma'am. And is there something you want to say about me? I know it's my internalized racism. You know, I want to be white. That's why I'm saying these things.
Oxygen. Every lab report showed he died of asphyxiation. And that doesn't matter because they want to spare a white man the penalty of his crimes. America has not changed, and I hate to say it, it may never change. And people who keep asking, are we going to riot? Are we going to protest? Is that what's needed? Do glass have to break? Do cars have to burn for a black man to get justice in America? We can't.
Okay, is she inciting violence? Isn't that what they try to say Trump did on January 6th? Even though he didn't. But she's literally calling for them not to protest. She said she wants to burn out cars. destroy the community. This is what Black Lives Matter is. This is what they want.
That sounds
trying to stir up something, and nobody gives a damn about this case. I don't know what Black person is sitting around thinking about it. Listen, this isn't back in 2008, 2018, 2019, 2020 when BLM was on the rise and they could just do this rallying call and cry racism and everybody was going to jump up and riot. Okay? We're past that point. We know the grift. Give it up. It's time to pack it up and go home.
We can't show up with peace. We can't show up with facts. We can't show up with evidence and witness after witness. You give us nothing. And then you ask us to love this country. America hates Black people. And we see it from that jury pool.
Ow!
They
wow. Wow, Sister Soldier really thinks she said something here. You don't represent Black people. You represent yourself. Do not speak for us. We're tired of you ghetto pandering activists claiming that you're fighting for all of us, and it gives the rest of us a bad name. You don't represent us. You want to prop up criminals, pedophiles, degenerates. Those are the people that you see as heroes, not the people out here really working hard and trying to provide and do right and live an upstanding life. No. It's always these are the people that they're falling out for. And why do they do it? You think they really care? No. They're out to profit for themselves. They're out to stir up trouble, to try to make a name for themselves. And that's exactly what they did with the whole George Floyd thing. So the jury got it right. I'm sorry, but BLM are nutcases. And we've seen how they've tried to divide this country. They've given more to LGBTQ causes than they have Black causes. They have donated more money to LGBTQ than they have the Black community. But for some reason, they're supposed to be for the betterment of all Black people. Right. The only Black people that seems to be doing well through this whole grift are the actual leaders of it, who we've seen how they've used the money and enriched themselves and buying houses and properties. And speaking of another case, they now have a suspect in custody in the shooting death of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Now, I did a video about all of
love her videos and stuff like that. Go check out her videos and stuff like that. So give her a like on this. And stuff. I had to give what I go through on mass transit. See, I can't even say the words because I want to forget it. It's that traumatic sometimes on mass transit, buses and trains. You don't know if you're going to get back. You don't know if something's going to go crazy on you, you know? Something's going to go crazy on somebody else. I've seen people bloodied up. Beat up, bloodied. And shit. You know? I get on a bus. I see a guy at a bus stop. He's all full of blood and stuff and everything. And it's like, move on. It's fucking crazy. And most people are lucky they don't have to go through mass transit. It's gotten worse on mass transit, on buses and trains. It's gotten crazier. At least when I was last on that bus, it's like, fuck. It's bloody crazy. I mean, sometimes it's just cool, you know. I was saying, but a couple days ago, a few days ago, okay, you know, people say I had to stab this person, I had to kill people, and this and that. That's fucking crazy. Tell me what you think. If anybody has these stories on mass transit, crazy stuff, leave a comment, man. I want to hear it. Take care and peace out.